If you're looking for some advice on things that you need to know before becoming a college athlete, then you need to listen to this video. I played basketball in college for 4 years, my first 2 years at a Division I school, my last 2 years at a Division II school. My experience at a Division I college was different in a lot of ways compared to my Division II school, but all the same principles apply. Hey guys, I'm Jojo, and I usually give tips on fitness and health because of my experience of being a college athlete. But if you are planning to be a college athlete, I will share my tips on what I would do if I had the chance to do it all over again. My first piece of advice is that it is a full-time job. I knew that it was going to be something that I was going to spend most of my time doing, but no, like, this is 90% of your life. I honestly shouldn't even say that it's like a full-time job because it's more than that. I'll give you a rundown of a basic day I had. I would wake up at 5:30 in the morning to go to conditioning and weights at 6 a.m. That would be about an hour, and then I would go to the gym to get some shots up for about 45 minutes. Of course, that means get a snack, walk to the gym, get my gear on, stretch, get my shots up, and then get treatment done afterwards. I'd pick up breakfast, head to class for a few hours of my day, come home, make lunch, and sometimes I wouldn't even make lunch because I was too lazy, I had too much anxiety, or there just wasn't enough time to do so. Practice was in the afternoons, but just because practice says the time slot of 2 to 4 p.m. does not mean that it's just 2 hours. It actually means getting there an hour beforehand, either getting shots up or getting a workout in or getting treatment. Then after the 2 to 3 hour practice, I'd get more treatment done or more shots up. After all of that, I would shower, get home to make dinner or get dinner, and then I would have homework to do. And yeah, some days I wouldn't even do my homework, or maybe the day before I got more homework done, so I didn't need to come back and do homework. But either way, I'm doing homework at some point in my day. Honestly, school was the most annoying part of the whole process. At least for me, because I was a business major, so I didn't go to school to go to school. I went to school to play a sport. But yeah, then I'd get into bed and scroll on TikTok for however long, however late I stayed up. Usually it would be very late. I would have too much anxiety to want to do that all again the next day. So I also do wish that I prioritized sleep, but that was very hard as a student athlete. This is not an exaggeration. You could ask any college athlete. I just want to keep it real for the ones that are interested in becoming a college athlete or those who have already committed and want to see what it's like. And I really wish I knew this. I really wish I had someone to tell me that this was going to be my day. I wouldn't have changed a single thing. I could make a video for you guys on being a college athlete and how it has changed my life for the better if you guys are interested. Okay, that was a long one, but I promise you they're not all that long. I had to get arguably the most important one out of the way. The second thing that I wish I had known was weightlifting beforehand. I say this because I was so embarrassed my first month when I was weightlifting with my team. I was not only super weak and had no muscle to work with, I had no idea how to do any exercise. But to be clear, you get a summer program when you choose to go to a college. I just didn't know because I never checked my emails before college. So all of my teammates had already done all the exercises that we were doing. I have a family friend in high school who is interested in being a college athlete, and she already lifts, and I never did that, mainly because I didn't know what to do or how to start a workout. But she actually takes a class at the high school that is weightlifting. We go on vacations a lot and we're able to go to the gym together, and she does my college lifts because that class has taught her so much. So I definitely advise taking that class if you can. If you're already past the deadline of taking that class, or you just can't make that class work, honestly, in these days, use ChatGPT to customize workouts for you, or go on YouTube and look up the workouts that is provided in your summer lift, or even just random lifts that ChatGPT gives you. Even if you're only learning the actual exercise instead of like getting strong and building muscle, it will go a long way. Third on the list is that the coaches are going to have favorites, and they're going to tell you 1,000 times that they do not have favorites. They're lying. Don't expect to be a favorite. Work your butt off in practices and create relationships with them, but don't get hung up on being their favorite. If it happens, that's great. But if it doesn't, try in the world's best power to not let it irritate you. The thing that I regret most when this got to me is that I lost all of my confidence because I didn't think that I was good enough. Losing your confidence is going to be the worst possible thing that you could do in your career. And let me tell you, they are going to test that shit like it's never been tested before. The fourth on our list is injury prevention. You probably already experienced some type of injury, even if it's something that just nags at you. Get rid of it. You should be rolling out and stretching as a daily ritual, and to make it a top priority in college. Like the top priority, not just a top priority, like the top priority is to be rolling out and stretching. Even if you don't have an injury, you are going to get one if you don't do anything. You're going to get injuries that you never thought you'd get. I have had so many tendinitis in my career, and that's just like the overuse of your tendons and muscles. I still have tendinitis in my knees because, well, I swear that they've aged 30 years playing just 4 years in college. But also, if I started rolling out and stretching and getting treatment from the very beginning, it would have saved me. So even when you're not hurting, make sure to keep it that way. The fifth thing that I wish I knew is to eat well. I didn't get into nutrition until my junior year, but man, did it change my life. You need to learn how to cook, meal prep, and understand that food is fuel. Your body responds when you eat inflammatory foods, even if you don't think it does. Even things like knowing when to eat. So for example, when you get done with a lift, you're supposed to eat protein 30 minutes after, or just get a meal within an hour after your lift. A meal with lots of protein. Let's make that clear. Also, of course, hydration is the most important thing in nutrition, and it actually helps if you're good about it the day before. Here are the electrolytes I take now, and they are a game changer. Are we on number 6 now? The 6th thing that I wish I knew was to figure myself out without my sport. When I was transferring out of my Division I school, that place had led me to hate my sport. I didn't want anything to do with it, so I was thinking about quitting. Thank God I didn't, because my second school saved every single part of me, but that's besides the point. When I was deciding to quit, which was such a hard debate on its own, I started to ask myself, why would I be doing something that's not making me happy? Just to prove to everyone that I could do something that I don't enjoy? I had been playing basketball since I was 5 years old, so of course I can't see the line of who I am without my sport. But this is something that I wish that I knew throughout my whole entire career. It would have saved me a lot of dark thoughts, tears, and terrible mental health.
Editing my video, I'm realizing that a huge factor of why people don't quit their sport in college is because they have a scholarship. That is literally the biggest reason of why I wasn't quitting my sport. It's just funny to me that I didn't think of that when I was writing this whole video, but it's because I've escaped from my past and now I'm here. I don't even comprehend anymore. I've moved past it. But I will be making a whole video about how quitting is actually escaping, and it actually could be something that is very good for your life, because I'm sitting here and I'm like, oh my God, I could just start ranting for so long about how I hate how people say that quitting is such a bad thing. And yes, there are certain contexts where quitting is really bad, and if you just choose to do nothing with your life. But if you are in a situation where you are not happy, then that's escaping something. That's actually pulling yourself out of a bad situation and coming out on the other side doing something that you love and something that makes you happy. See, I could literally make a whole video on this, so I'm gonna do that, but I just thought that I would include this in this video.
Number 7 is to create relationships with your coaches. Try to talk about anything other than your sport and get to know each other on a deeper level. It will help gain trust and understanding with one another. It could clear things up and you won't overthink as much, which could help with your confidence. Now, I won't lie to you and say that if you bond with your coaches, everything's going to be solved, because there are some fake ass, heartless coaches out there, but you have to give it a chance. At least that's what I wish I told myself. The 8th thing that I wish that I knew is that they film everything. My Division I school filmed practices and my Division II school didn't, which I think is a good idea, and I think that film does help a team and individuals. But you are going to have these film sessions and you are going to be called out. Most of the time in a negative way, but you have to take it with a grain of salt. This is probably at the top of my list when it comes to things that I wish that I knew, which is, it's not unhealthy to do that. It's just that if you are being yelled at in a very bad way or a very negative way and not in any healthy way, it's not going to be a good experience at all. I remember my coaches at my first school would go as far as to record the players that are on the bench and how we wouldn't cheer enough for the people who are playing in the games. Literally a whole entire film session on just the camera zoomed in on the bench players. I got a lot of PTSD from film sessions, and I don't think that anybody likes to get ridiculed in front of other people. But then at my next school, I learned over time in a more positive environment that it's not that bad if you prepare yourself for what's to come. So just know that they do see everything and it can get brutal, but they show you these things so that you can improve. You can even go and make sessions with just you and the coach instead of in front of everybody. That doesn't mean that they're not going to show everybody in the team session. But when you have that one-on-one conversation, most of the time, hopefully most of the time, that they are going to be nice when they are showing you what you're doing wrong. I don't know. I think I still have PTSD from film sessions, so I just am really trying to prepare you. It is okay. You'll build some thick skin, let me tell you. Just 2 more left, and the second to last one is probably something that you're already learning in this video, and that is you will be humbled. The worst practice that you've ever had in high school will not compare to a practice that you are going to have in college. I wish that I knew that there is being in shape and then there's being in collegiate athlete shape. I wish I knew that I would try my hardest to get in the best shape that I can before getting there, just to help out with conditionings and practices, but it will not be enough. Experience is the best teacher, but I'm just letting you know to not expect to be the best at everything there. My last and final thing I wish I knew of being a college athlete is that it is all a mental test. The best comparison I have for you is something that my dad would always say when he was comparing being a college athlete to anything else in life, and that's that it is like going to the military. I laugh because it's painfully true. You will go in with all of this talent, and then you will be broken down to your lowest self just to be built back up a different person. Some people can't make it, which is totally fine, and that's just not your path, but some get through it, and let me tell you that it is the best fucking feeling in the world when you've passed the test. And then it sucks when you've done all of this work and then you don't get any playing time. It's like, why did I just do all of this? Know that you've created mental toughness for the rest of your life. If I knew that this was going to be 10% physical and 90% mental, I would have done a lot more for my mind. When you get out into the real world, you take these skills with you. My first school would always say that we're teaching you all of these things and we're pushing you and we're doing all of the shit that we're doing to you just so that you could go out into life and blossom. Okay, they were lying, but then I got to my second school and this is all my coach said, and he's like actually a good person. He just would make sure that we knew that everything that he was teaching us, or even things that we're learning on our own, these were the things and skills that we were going to have to be successful in life. No matter what job you're trying to get, if you tell the interviewer that you were a college athlete, chances are that you just pass every single person who is interviewing for that job because they know the mental toughness that you obtained. The best skill that you could get and be successful is having mental toughness, and nothing teaches it to you like a college sport. And that's why no matter how hard it was, I am so thankful for my journey. But it would have been great to know all of those things so I didn't have so much trauma, but here we are. So it's going good. It's going good. All right, that wraps up this video. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you guys want a part 2. I would be more than happy to give you guys more tips and advice. Make sure to check out my channel on all the fitness and health things I've learned while being a college athlete. But yeah, I love you guys. Bye.